know what it means to judge somebody? To judge somebody means you're deciding if you think that they are right or wrong in their choices, or good or bad in what they're doing. You're judging them as a person. In Matthew 7, 1 through 6, it tells, Jesus is talking to a whole group of people, and he's on a mountain. It's called the Sermon on the Mount, and he's talking about not judging other people. And he's warning us that if we judge other people, that we'll be judged the same way. He talks about a speck in the eye, and he's saying that if you, how could you look at the speck in somebody's eye and not notice the plank in your own eye? And so what Jesus is trying to do in telling that story that way, what he is trying to show us is that when we look at somebody else's sin, it's like a speck, like this little speck here. And when we look at their sin, then we're not noticing the plank in our eye, like this. And so that's kind of crazy to think about. If you had this in your eye, then you really shouldn't even be noticing this little speck in somebody else's eye. So Jesus told the story that way to help us understand what he really means in it. And the problem is that when we look at somebody else's sin and decide if we think that they're right or wrong, or if they're making good choices or bad choices, we forget that we are also sometimes making good choices, bad choices, we're right, we're wrong, that kind of thing. So now that we know that the Bible tells us not to judge, we need to put that into action. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 22 to 25, it talks about being hearers of the word, listening to the word. And it said that we shouldn't just be hearers of the word, but we should be doers of the word. And that we'll be blessed by being doers of the word. And I want to be blessed by being doers of the word, don't you? In order to be a good doer of the word, it helps if we can be filled with the goodness of God. And to be filled with the goodness of God means that we need to learn about who God is. And we need to learn about who God says that we are, that we're created to be just like him, and that he loves us so deeply that he sent his son to die for us. And as we learn more about him, we can become more like him. And as we become more like him, then it's a little harder to judge other people. As you learn to love other people and care for other people, it's harder to judge them. You just realize that they're just people of God like you're a person of God. And if we're filled with the goodness of God, we will judge less. We will become more like God. We will just love others differently. And so for this week, we have some homework. And one thing I'd like for you to do is just fill your love cup. And some ways of doing that would be to love yourself and then love others. And so I've got a couple of ideas for you. I would love for your parents to take some pictures or some videos of you doing this so we can just share it. But a couple ways that you could maybe love other people. And you'll have your own ideas, and I can't wait to see them. But maybe rake leaves for your neighbor. Don't do it to get paid. Don't do it to even get noticed. It'd be great if they didn't even know that you did do it. Maybe record yourself or have your parent record you reading a story or telling a Bible story in your own words. And then they can post that on Facebook, and other kids can watch that. Make a list of 10 things that you like about somebody else, and share that with them. You do that for a couple of people, and it would just really make their day. It's a really great way to love other people. Maybe do a chore for a sibling or a parent without telling them. Just do it just to be nice, just to love them. Maybe make some cards, 5 to 10 cards, and have mom send them to the nursing home. Or if you have people in your neighborhood that you know are elderly and are not getting out, that would be an awesome way to love other people. People in the nursing home a lot of times don't even have visitors that come and visit them, and you would really brighten their day that way. Maybe pick up trash in your neighborhood. That would be ways to love other people. Some ways that you can love yourself is spend time in your Bible. Read a story in your Bible. Read a Bible story app. They've got kids apps for the Bible stories. They'll even tell you the whole story on there. It'll be animated. It'll be fun. You can get on YouTube and look for Bible stories. Exercise is a great way to love yourself. So maybe exercise. Make a list of things that you think that God likes about you. and share that with you. Also, maybe do a devotional. You can search on YouTube for kids devotional videos and maybe do a devotional with a sibling or with your parent, or maybe even call a friend and do it with a friend. So we are really missing you, and I hope you're having a really great week, and I can't wait to see your videos. Post them on Thrive Kids at Revive.